Okay, this video is going to take us through assignments in Java. And so we've already talked about declarations and variable calls, but we really need to talk about assignment, which is really the middle, the second thing that happens with a variable. If you remember, we talked about the circle of life. There's a declaration, there's an assignment, and then there's a call, variable call. Well, we're talking about the assignment. Now, so an assignment is to assign a value to a variable that has already been declared. So it's to assign a value to a variable that's already been declared. So if we look at line or over here, we see that here's our declaration. So let's say that this declaration has taken place. A memory location or a storage location has been set up, reserved, called num of cats. There's not necessarily anything in it, but it's been declared. Okay, then to assign means to store data. It means to store data in the storage location of a variable. To store data in the storage location of a variable. So this right here is a storage location of the variable num of cats. And so we're going to store, to assign means to store a value in there, whether it could be 6 or 12 or whatever. So here's an example of an assignment. Now the first thing that we want to do here, this really the purpose of this first thing is not only to show you that that variables can be assigned constants or numbers, but also to show you how to read. So this is really how to read this line of code. This is important. So num of cats, this is how you can read it. Num of cats, you're reading from left to right. Don't say is equal to. Say num of cats is assigned 3. Okay, so this right here is not read is equal to. It is assigned is what that means, and I'll show you why it's not is equal to in just a bit. Now another way that you could look at this is you could say that 3 is assigned to num of cats. Is assigned to num of cats. Now you can't flip those around. You can't say num of cats is assigned to 3. It doesn't make sense. You have to have the num of cats already established, which we do, and then the 3 is assigned to it. Now the C is the third thing is that we can say is that 3 is stored in num of cats. This is what the compiler does. It goes to that storage location and stores the 3 in there. It's just like when you have a dresser and you declare a particular drawer to be your sock drawer, and then you put the socks in the drawer. That is the assignment, is when you put the socks in the drawer. Okay, the next thing is number 2. Num of cats is assigned num of dogs. Don't say is equal to. So what we're showing here is that variables can be assigned the value of another variable. So if you assign a number, it can be assigned the value of another variable. So in A, num of cats is assigned the value or the contents of the num of dogs. So assign the value or the contents of num of dogs. Now here's why we don't say is equal to. I'll demonstrate this right now. So let's say that we have num of cats. Let's say that we have 3. Num of dogs, let's say, has been assigned 5. So if you read this as equal to, it would say num of cats equals num of dogs. So 3, what you're saying is that 3 equals 5. Well, that does not even make sense. So that's not true. It would be kind of like an error type situation. That doesn't make sense. So what's happening is this. We got to delete that. That num of cats, we're not concerned about the value of num of cats. What we're saying is the storage location, num of cats, is going to be assigned whatever the value of the num of dogs is. And the num of dogs happens to be 5. So therefore, num of cats is assigned, as we read up here, is assigned 5. So the 3 is replaced with the 5. So the 5 from num of dogs is being stored in the storage location num of cats. That'd be like taking all the socks out of one drawer and putting them into another drawer. All right, number 3. Num of cats is assigned my cats plus your cats. So what we're illustrating here is that that you can also assign a calculation to a variable. So, and actually the best way to say this is the result of a calculation is really what you're doing, because if you crunch the numbers, then whatever your result is, that's going to be stored. So num of cats is assigned my cats plus your cats. Well, let's just put in here that we have 5 cats and 4 cats. So it's assigned 5 plus 4, so 9 is stored in num of cats. So now that's 5 to replace with 9. Okay, so variables can change because of the word vary. Num of cats is assigned the calculation of the sum of my cats and your cats. And then the values of my cats and your cats are added together, and the result is stored in num of cats. And so that's what's happening. Okay, number 4 is num of cats is assigned. Oops. Oh, this moved on me. Okay, I don't know what happened here. Okay, is num of cats is assigned num of cats plus 3. Here's another situation where if we were to illustrate num of cats, let's say it's 5 right now, then, and num of cats is 5, 5 does not equal 8. So that's why this doesn't say is equal to. It's just another way to show that. And so what we do then is num of cats is sitting there, and it's going to be assigned whatever the value of this is. And so it happens to be whatever the current value of this variable. So it's the current value plus 3. And so 8. So 8 is going to be stored in num of cats. So over here we go, oops, not the right one, sorry. Oh man, I had 9 over here. The value of num of cats was 9. And so then 9 plus 3 is 12, so 12 now is stored in num of cats. Sorry, I missed that one. Okay, so 12 is now stored in num of cats. The num of cats is assigned the calculation of its current value and 3. The current value of num of cats is increased by 3. And this is an example of an accumulating variable. It's kind of like when you go on Halloween to trick or treat. You start out with like a pillowcase or whatever, and there's 0 in there. You go to your first house, you have 0, and then they say you get 3 pieces of candy. Well, now you have 3. So your current value is 3 when you go to the next house. And then let's say you get 4 pieces. Well, so now you have 7 pieces. So when you go to the third house, before you enter there, you get your 7 is your current value, and then you're going to increase it. So accumulating, it just keeps on increasing or accumulating more and more and more, and that's what this is the way to code that. All right, that's assignment. That's it for now.